into the show. It is 6:50 here locally in New Orleans. We want to make sure that everybody has access to the story that we're going to talk about as it relates to Thanksgiving and the sort. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody into the definitely wants to know, what your boy doing for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big man. So usually we know how to eat, being a big man. You know what I'm saying? But I welcome everybody to Sports Talk NOLA over on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the fifth quarter New Orleans Saints Denver Broncos instant reaction show. I am Jay Orleans, joined by the lovely Miss Neek. Miss Neek, say what's up to everybody on YouTube.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Neek, and welcome to the fifth quarter.
We here. Saints keep winning, huh, Miss Neek?
That's what they do. We was talking about this right before the show. Like I as I look back, thank God for this platform that I'm not going to give any credence to until we start getting some ad money from them. But I'm over on my platform and it's showing me my memories, and I've been a avid ish talker for the Saints for quite a while, which is why I was asked to be on this here show. And all of my memories are. Yeah, 9-2, 8-2, 10-2. We the best. We this, we that, undefeated, winning streak. Like, we've been real.
Yeah.
Stop with this. Everybody talk the eights and the eights and the eights and the eights. And what we ain't gonna do is have a bad season. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
Look, we should be happy. I've grown up a lifelong Saints fan, right? So I'm kind of used to, all of the things that, the New Orleans Saints history kind of presents. Right. Long ass history. You know what I'm saying? But this time right now that we're in with Sean Payton and Drew Brees is definitely the golden age if you're a Saints fan. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be around to see it, just to be honest about it, because a lot of folks, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people had a lot of heart attacks, a lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of fighting, for over the years when the Saints weren't necessarily as good as they've been since Sean Payton has been here. It is absolutely, phenomenal what he's been able to do. The Saints are 9-2, Ms. Neat. Yes, after COVID, without Drew Brees, it just doesn't matter whether it's Katrina, whether it's Bounty Gate, whatever you want to throw in front of this organization with Sean Payton, Mickey Loomis, the Benson family, Drew Brees, they just continue to thrive, whether it's the Hail Mary catch against the Vikings, being cheated by the Rams, last year interference, no interference call. The Saints just bounce back every single year, and their resiliency, in my opinion, no pun intended, is second to none.
Hey, shout out to Nicole. So, here's the thing, right? I think it's a testament to who we are as a team, right? Mm-hmm. And that in itself is a testament to our leadership, to our coaching staff, to our head coach, even up to Mickey Loomis and Tom Benson, rest his soul. Like, it's just the type of team that we've built. And I don't mean just the people that get out on the field. I mean everybody that supports the New Orleans Saints that contributes to our success, because realistically, it's like the things that we've been dealt from Bounty Gate down, like most teams would have crumbled. Most teams would have been, lackluster. They would have had off seasons, where they just didn't perform and everyone's like, oh, well, they're bouncing back, or, oh, it's a rebuilding stage. But like, we have consistently been good, and everybody understands that it's next man up. Like, do your job. So when we lose a quarterback or we lose a head receiver or whatever the case may be, or a good front lineman, like, it's like everybody knows next man up, do your job. And they do their jobs exceptionally well, especially when they're all cohesive and they have everything together. So I think it's more of a testament to who we are as a team overall. The culture that has been built in New Orleans by Sean Payton and his staff is, to your pun, second to none. We literally get it done every year. And that in itself makes me proud to be a Saints fan.
Special time to be a Saints fan. I know we're just coming off of a holiday. As we were on our podcast formats, I was telling everybody that all of my Thanksgiving food is already done. And of course, we tuned in to talk about the Denver Broncos and the Saints. We got you. But Thanksgiving just passed. And, usually when you're in a big family, there's a debate. Do you eat leftovers past the weekend? Will it make it to the weekend? Well, in my house, for the first time in 20 years, I can't remember another time where all of the food was gone before Sunday. I have no Thanksgiving food to eat today, and it was really, really good. We decided to be very specific with what we wanted. We usually go over the top. I got to be honest and say we do that. This year, we were like, okay, we want this, we want this, we want that. Yeah, hold this back, hold that back. And it turned out to be both good and bad. The food was really, really good. I'm mad I ain't got none tonight. I can't even front. I'm used to having some turkey tonight. I guess I'm gonna have to wait, for the next holiday to come up. But all the food gone, Ms. Nick. It's all gone, and it was really, really good. I'm mad.
I mean, so like, what did you eat? Did you not have a turkey? Did you just?
Yes.
I mean, y'all had a turkey.
Yes.
And the turkey's gone.
Yes.
How y'all pull that off?
I mean, when you got a house full of 8, it was 8 people over here. 8.
See, that's what else it is too. What else it is that it's COVID. So people ain't really going out and venturing to other people's house all the time. So you just sitting in your own house eating your own food all day.
Right. So, we get it out the way, man. We get it out the way. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in to the show. I got a few people that love that we're on YouTube. Somebody just texted me and said, hey, look, I like the new format. Yes, we're on YouTube. We're on subscribe. After the Saints game, myself, Geraldine, and lovely Miss Neek will be here talking Saints football. We'll get it in. We're talking about all these other things, and we know that the Saints are 9-2, and we know that they play the game today, and we'll give away our beignets. We'll do all of that. But it was a very hard watch today. I must say so myself. I'm going to be real with y'all. I fell asleep in the third quarter. I woke back up. I saw what the haps was. I know what went down. I know that we won. But I was underwhelmed with the opponent. I was underwhelmed with Taysom Hill's performance. Excuse me. But I am happy that the Saints won, and I'm looking forward to what's around the corner for us as we pursue the number 1 seed and hopefully position ourselves to win a title. What was your feeling, Ms. Nick, watching today's game?
Well, let me just say we currently hold the number 1 seed right now. We are at the top. We trumped Green Bay last week, and we sit there now. I too was underwhelmed. I wasn't expecting a huge game. I was very excited that Taysom got another opportunity, and this may be messed up, but he got another opportunity to get into a rhythm without having a lot of extreme circumstances against him. So that worked in our favor. The fact that he didn't have an actual quarterback on the other side of the ball to kind of, defend and match points with. That in me. It also just considering the fact that he's well coached, and he is a gadget player. So if we need him like he did to run in a couple touchdowns, he's okay to do that. So it's not like he's just a really bad quarterback that can't do anything else. So that was our saving grace, because I really honestly believe if we had a full quarterback on the other side of the ball, that would have been a much different game.
I second that feeling 100%. Yeah. I'm talking to people during the game, and all these folks that came out talking about Taysom Hill, who's Drew Brees. I told y'all was crazy last week. Y'all should have been drug tested last week. We had some people around here talking foolish, plumb stupid, all over Twitter, all over Facebook, all over IG. Y'all here making an ass of yourself. And then we come back this very next week, and this man can't even throw the football 10 yards. I'm begging like, damn, is this Tim Tebow in Denver all over again? Yeah, we won. I get it, we won. I'm happy we won. And I like Taysom Hill as a football player. I'm not going to get on board with him as the quarterback for the long term for the Saints. I can tell y'all that now. I just seen 2 starts. The Atlanta game was straight. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. The Atlanta game coming up will not look like what we just saw last week. They will be better prepared. There's more film on Taysom Hill. You know what the Saints want to do with him. You look at what his limitations are. And so the defense is going to have to come up big. Special teams going to have to come up big. And you can't turn the ball over. You do those things, you got a shot to win next week and keep the streak rolling until Drew Brees gets back. But I am off. I'm telling y'all right, I don't care what happens. He can go undefeated until Drew Brees gets back. Doesn't matter to me. Teddy Bridgewater did the same thing. And I said I didn't want Teddy Bridgewater as my quarterback in the future neither. I do not want, I'm telling y'all again, one more time, I do not want Taysom Hill as the next quarterback, the heir apparent after Drew Brees. I don't give a damn how many pictures he take on IG with Drew Brees. Talk about they spending Thanksgiving together. That don't mean nothing. He don't have Drew Brees' mind. His arm might be a little better as far as strength. He ain't got Drew Brees' accuracy. I don't need it. Don't want it.
Yeah, he's a really slow on the draw when it comes to letting those passes off. And then, I think what bothers me the most is that he's not afraid to take a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's not afraid to take a hit, he takes them. And if you're supposed to be my QB, I need you to get your ass on the ground. Like, you can't be taking these hits like this, like, just because you are still in the mind state of being a running back, and that's not a good place for you to be as my QB. To your point, he is inaccurate a lot of the time. And, we saw a turnover there, and he doesn't protect the ball the way that I would expect a QB to protect the ball. So I'm not on board with it either. I'm curious to see how he fares in front of a formidable opponent, which, we may see next week, because I think Atlanta's going to pull their big boy jaws on. They ain't going to let us sweep them this year too. So I'm curious, but I don't think that he is the next move. And but at the same time, I don't know if Jameis Winston is either. Because when Jameis Winston in, I was underwhelmed then. And he had a comfy lead. He could have just showed off and tried some, to be the best that he could be. But I still was underwhelmed. So it is alarming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about next week's game. I'm really concerned about the Chiefs game, because we'll talk about when we think Drew should come back. But we'll see. We'll see how it all works.
Yeah, I mean, look, make sure. I know we got people coming in and previewing the show, giving us the love. I'm getting a lot of the text messages. Make sure that you're subscribing and you're showing love. Make sure you hit the like button. Do what you got to do to make sure that we continue to rise up in the algorithm. So that when people are looking for Saints talk, they'll find the show, and we can continue to bring y'all this show and be back for next season as it relates to Saints football.
Can we climb? We got to rise up. Can we climb up?
You're right about that. You damn right. That was a bad way to. I agree. I agree. We need to
rise up to nothing.
Right. Atlanta has really made that a very bad slogan. Rise up is pretty bad. You're right. So yeah, we need to climb up. Move on up.
Move on up. Let's move. Right. Climb up.
Do that. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. Speaking of moving up, Sean Payton with the New Orleans Saints, it's not even a debate. At this point, we're talking, is he a Hall of Fame coach? I think that by the time that he's done coaching with the Saints, he will be. I think that what he has done here is nothing short of phenomenal in turning around his organization since 2006. The Saints have been one of the premier organizations in all of sports, not just football. But when you think about that short list of must-watch teams in North America, you think about the Lakers, you think about the Patriots up until this last debacle with Brady and Belichick. So that's changed. But, we're talking about what's happened over the last few years. You talk about whatever team LeBron James is playing for, the Golden State Warriors, you know what I'm saying? In baseball, the Yankees, the Red Sox, or the Dodgers. The Saints are right there, whether it's for good and what we saw in 2010 with us hosting the Lombardi Trophy, or for bad when you have some of the most unbelievable playoff losses in recent history. The Saints have become must-watch television. And in Sean Payton and Drew Brees' era, again, it should not go without saying to Saints fans, if you've been a Saints fan, as long as I've been a Saints fan, this is indeed the golden era. Be happy, because it's not guaranteed. After Sean Payton, after Drew Brees, we are definitely in a golden era in Saints or in New Orleans sports history. And let me ask you this, Ms. Nick. We're talking about Drew Brees. We understand the injury. What is it, 11 fractures, punctured lungs. We get it. When should he come back? And when he comes back, what standard should we hold Drew Brees to? And looking forward, is it Super Bowl or bust? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions. It's a loaded question. But with Drew Brees missing some time and depending on how many weeks you think he should sit down, what's a reasonable expectation for the team, and is it Super Bowl or bust for the Saints this year?
Well, first, I want to say to your point about Sean Payton before this, Sean Payton today became the 13th head coach in history to beat all 31 teams. He we might have beat ourselves, so you could just add us in there too. So he didn't beat everybody. There's been a couple times he tried to throw some trick plays in there and lost us the game, so he kind of beat us too. But you know, he is a elite coach, and I think he has one of the most acute football minds, and because of that, I'm hopeful that he will consistently make the right decisions, and one of those decisions being the tough one of when we bring Drew back. You and I were talking about that. You know, he has an automatic 3 weeks on injured reserve, so you know, of course, he's due back for the Eagles game, which is right after which is one more week. So we got one more week out with Atlanta next week. And then he's due back he's eligible to come back that week. I don't think he should. Honestly, I don't think he should come back for the Kansas City game the week after. Now, we need him to come back for the Kansas City game because ain't no way Taysom Hill matching what Mahomes is bringing to the field. But at the same time, when you bring Drew back and he's in that state and you don't really know, you know, where he is, he hasn't gotten back on the field, he's probably going to be apprehensive. There's going to be some anxiety there. I think at that point, you start a round robin of sorts. So you bring in your Drew Brees for the long balls, for the passes that we need him. But if we have the possibility to run a gadget play or, you know, a quick handoff that Jameis Winston can go in and take care of, then I think we should do that. So it should be more of a round robin. Yeah, Drew can start, but you ain't going to take every snap because we got to be really careful. He sustained some really bad injuries. And I would hate for us to rush him back in and risk losing him for what we will need to be in, which is playoffs, Super Bowl. So my prediction is that he'll come back for the Kansas City game just because we need him to come back for the Kansas City game, and he'll be eligible by then. I'm hopeful that they use him in a limited capacity when he does come back, just to be sure that he's okay. But I think Sean Payton will make the right decision. I don't see Sean blowing this. I just don't.
I'll give you my thoughts. There's no way that Taysom Hill is the starting quarterback when we take on the Kansas City Chiefs December 20th. I think that's the date that we try to get Drew back for a couple of reasons. I think that Sean, you know, he's not going to take lightly that game. That game will give the Saints an opportunity to really test themselves against one, last year's Super Bowl champion. They've only lost one game thus far, right? It also gives the team an opportunity to get some good tape and to get Drew some live action against a team that if they are to come out the NFC, in all likelihood, it's either going to be the Chiefs or the Steelers that the Saints will be playing in January if the Saints come out of the NFC. And so I think for that reason, that game is incredibly valuable. You'll see Taysom Hill get on the field. You're going to want to get some looks there. And that game will be a game that could give us some foresight to what the Super Bowl may look like. Now, we have a lot of football left between now and then. A lot is happening with COVID, and we're looking at players, you know, having to be restricted. You saw today, the Broncos didn't have anybody available to take a snap, and their entire quarterback meeting room basically was on quarantine. And so for me, I'm like, well, you know, as watching that, what do you do as a team? You know, do you maybe start to kind of spread these guys out? Because I don't want that. The Saints, you know, room for error in trying to secure the number one seed, which will give you an automatic bye. Drew Brees, with the injuries that he sustained, Alvin Kamara is not healthy. That automatic bye will be really, really good for the Saints if they can get their hands on it. Is it necessary to win a title? No. But it'll be really good for a team like the Saints who they have a lot of veterans, guys are hurt. And again, with COVID being out there, having that 1 week bye where you don't have to play, it gives you an opportunity to get a plan together and to make sure everybody's ready to roll. Kansas City is when Drew has to come back. He'll play. Hopefully the Saints can get these next two, figure out a way to just get it done. Taysom Hill is 9 of 16 today for 78 yards. I can't remember the last time a Saints quarterback threw for under 100 yards. I can't. I can't remember. I can't remember not one quarterback throwing for under 100 yards in Sean Payton's system. He averaged 4.9 yards a pass, no TDs in the air, one INT, was sacked 3 times. He had a quarterback rating of 43.2. For me, anybody, and I have a partner of mine, anybody that tells me, he told me Taysom Hill's 2-0. I'm not trying to hear that. That's crazy. Don't bring me the buffoonery. He played the Falcons last week, who caught off guard with Taysom Hill, and they are having a rough year. Then you played somebody this week who didn't even have a quarterback. Like, it's flat out embarrassing, right? So for me, look, who's got to come back?
You played a team with no leader. You don't you can't really give him these. I give them to him because a W is a W. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if we're assessing his quality as a quarterback, we can't. We just can't. But we can't look at this. Next week, I would start to kind of gauge, because we've given Atlanta an opportunity to kind of get themselves together, and they are pretty much going to come with their best. Julio Jones will be in at 100%. And
close to 100% as he can be. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, we're close. Right. And it's going to be interesting to see these next 2 games, how we kind of finesse the situation, because it could get very bleak for us very quick.
Yeah, look, when we talk about bleak, we're talking number 1 seed. I think, in all honesty, the Saints, if you win next week, in my opinion, you almost certainly can start talking about winning the division at that point. I think, it's been a rough patch for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Head-to-head, we own a tiebreaker. So worst case scenario, you finish with the same record as the Bucks, and we beat them by default, obviously, of having beaten them head-to-head. If you're a Saints fan this season, I think you're proud of your Saints no matter what, right? Is it Super Bowl or bust? It kind of has to be. They've been a veteran team that have been knocking on the door for the last few years, right? And you got to push the door open. And you know that Drew Brees last time, probably, if not this year, stretching it the next year, but it really, really probably is this year. He's got big money on the line. He's going to join, the folks up in the commentary booth and going to make that good money. You got to get it done, Ms. Neek. I think you got to get it done. It won't be easy. When you look at the NFC, I think the Bucks in the playoffs will be a hard out. I think Arizona is going to be a hard out. I think the Rams will be a hard out. Seattle will be a hard out. The Packers will be a hard out. So there are no guarantees. And without the Saints crowd, I don't think we'll have crowds as a part of the atmosphere for the playoffs, as we're starting to see another COVID wave come across the country. I don't know. This will be a very unique situation for teams as it relates to trying to project who's going to come out of the conference. I want them to. I want my Saints to do it, but I don't know. Well, we got a good shot, though, Ms. Nick. I tell you that. We got as good a shot as anybody else.
We definitely got a good shot. What's really starting to concern me is this wave of COVID that's running through the league right now. Yeah. We talk about getting through the playoffs, but can we get to the playoffs? I've heard talks of a bubble once we get into the playoffs, but it's looking kind of hard to get through these next 5-6 weeks to see, who actually goes in the bubble.
Right.
Like, we're shutting down facilities and canceling and rescheduling games, and it's, all of the quarterbacks, that's unheard of. All of them? Like, we don't have one? Like, it's just, so I'm really honestly just on pins and needles to hope that we get through this season effectively and healthy. There's no more shutdowns or loss of, we lost Emmanuel Sanders for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't be losing key players like that. That's going to be tough. That's the hard part, is moving through all of that.
It's something that everybody is going to have to try to figure out how to navigate themselves through. I'll tell you this, though. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan and somehow they cancel the season, you'll really be PO'd. This is a PG show, so I can't say it. You know what I'm saying? But the Cleveland Browns, Misty, do you know what their record is right now and what they've been able to do this football season?
I do
You know how
not.
good they're playing? The Cleveland Browns are 8-3 right now. They're
Really?
8-3. Who would have thought? Who would have thought coming into the season they would be playing at the level that they're playing at? Now, they got some pretty tough games coming along in their schedule here. You know what I'm saying? To kind of finish out the year. They got the Titans coming up, Ravens, and Steelers in their last 5. So we'll find out where they at. But to win 8 games, for the Browns this year is a big step up for their programming. And I'm talking about the Browns because we're talking about COVID in this season and what's to gain or what's to lose if you don't finish the season. I don't think there's any way the NFL can't finish the season. I'm kind of curious as to what their plan would be as we kind of see this COVID thing is getting stronger and stronger. You're in California. I was actually listening to you talk to a few of your coworkers saying, hey, look, we have some strong mandates coming down on Monday as far as moving around. And so, there's no contact from what I was made aware of. No contact sports are allowed in the Bay Area, as it relates to that affecting the San Francisco 49ers and what they're going to be able to do as far as their home game. So a lot of questions. I think the NFL, to answer your question directly, I think that because we're getting closer to the end of the season, the faster we get there, the quicker they need to be thinking about trying to get these teams into a bubble. And now let's have a little fun. If you had to create a bubble, what stadium, what venue, and if I know you talked about coming back home if Edna Carr makes it to the title game, which, that's one of the things you can probably book over the last decade is Edna Carr making it to the Superdome for the title game.
That's what we do. That's what we do. We just
that's what's happened as of late. But where do you want these games played if we have a bubble? And I believe the Super Bowl is to be played. Isn't it in Florida this year, if I'm not mistaken? Where is the current Super Bowl scheduled to be played this year? Super Bowl, what, 2021? Where do they have this game scheduled to be played at? It's in Florida. Yeah, it's in Tampa Bay Stadium.
Tampa Bay.
All right. So not too bad if you're a Saints fan. Now, if you're a local Saints fan, someone like you would have to come from way over there. And, tickets is high as hell. So I know how that would go. But for playoff games, if you wanted a neutral site for playoff games for the NFC and maybe a neutral site for the AFC, I'll go first if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
My neutral site, bring the game to Texas, bring them to Jerry's World right there in Dallas. You can open up the top if you need to, and you can invite a few people in, provided that they can pull that game off safely. And it's regionally, in my opinion, close. Dallas is a decent hub for people to fly in and fly out. I think you can do Dallas if you had to create some type of bubble for the players, whether you decide to let fans in or not even let fans in. It's your choice. But my first pick would be Dallas in the NFC and Washington. I'm going to keep it in Texas because I think playing with the option to open the stadium up is important, depending on if you have people there or not. I know this team won't play in the playoffs, but the Houston Texans, I think you go to Houston for the AFC. And I think for the NFL, logistically, it makes sense. So what would you do if you want to create the bubble? Where would it be? It's probably Texas, Florida, California is where you're going. So what you think?
Steal my thunder. I didn't speculate on your pick. Don't try to steal my thunder, make me look.
I already know where you're going. Go ahead.
Predictable. Me personally, I would say LA. Just because like in January the weather's perfect. So if we do need to drop the top, we can. The weather's perfect most of the time in LA, and it's right down.
Trying to go to the Saints game. You ain't slick.
What? The stadium's right here. Like I could walk to SoFi.
That's why. Yep, that's why.
Absolutely. Of course, it's a selfish decision. You act like you can't drive to Houston in 3.5 hours. Don't play with me.
Absolutely.
Okay, so don't act like that wasn't a part of your decision making. But LA has a brand new stadium. They have the ability to open up. The weather is amazing. It's a beautiful hub. Everybody wants to come to LA. And then the NFL could charge whatever they want because LA is in the top market of cost and price and everything. So the NFL will make more money for everybody to come LA than, to go to Houston.
They're gonna shut y'all down. So y'all look, y'all
No,
got the type of government over there.
clear.
Y'all ain't playing no games in California.
Be clear, LA County is just being preventative and making sure that our cases don't continue to spike. So LA don't be playing. Y'all sit around and watch the cases go up and be like, oh, we could probably squeeze another week or two out.
Exactly.
LA, as soon as we start going up, LA like, shut all that down. Nah, shut it down. Let's go. Let's get it right. Okay, cool. Now we back. So I think LA is the best bet. I mean, essentially that would be cool. It depends on who's gonna make it, because of course people from the West Coast are not gonna want to come to LA. So I mean, I think Texas would be a good pick, but I don't like Texas. So, and it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold and nasty, and the weather's stupid. So
I really firmly believe that these are the conversations that the executives in the NFL have to be considering right now. They have to be thinking about what to do come playoff time right now, because ultimately it's around the corner, and you got to make sure these games can be played with the best competition possible. You don't want, for instance, Patrick Mahomes to not be eligible to play in the AFC title game, or Drew Brees not to be eligible to play because of COVID. So in my opinion, this is coming. We just have to figure out how and when. It is what it is. I got a text message that I gotta address. My homie said, "Hey, I thought you was a Patriots fan." Yes, I am. I'm still a Patriots fan a little bit. I just don't like Cam Newton that much, where he's really killed my enthusiasm of being a Patriots fan. It ain't nothing personal. I'm an LSU Tigers fan. Cam Newton played for Auburn. I'm a Saints fan. Cam Newton played for Carolina. All of my life, basically, and all of his football life, I've been cheering against him. And how he ends up on the Patriots team, I'm supposed to be like, okay, I just forgive you. No, I'm the same guy that grew up a Laker fan and left the Lakers when Shaq came. I said, hell no, we're not going to cheer for Shaq. Shaq is whack. We're going to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? So, look, man, love to Shaq. I've grown to be, mature and know that my dislike of Shaq was maybe a little bit misplaced. But, okay, I'm that kind of guy that if you come to my team and I don't like you, and you can come up with whatever scenario you want, Ms. Neat. If Cam Newton ended up the next quarterback of the Saints, I might have a problem being a Saints fan. That's how bad it could be. My loyalty and my beef with you runs deep when you play the teams I don't like. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if I can handle it.
Cam, why do you have beef with Cam? Why?
I just told you. He played for the Auburn Tigers, and he was arrogant, and he beat LSU, and I ain't like him. Okay? I ain't like him.
So if he played
I ain't like him. I ain't like him when he was in Carolina.
Hold on. If he played for LSU and beat Auburn and was just as cocky, you'd have been okay?
Yeah, you damn right.
Oh, get over it. That's football.
No, I cannot. That's the whole point.
Football season. Stop it.
That's what I call the LeBron.
Football season. You can't do that.
Listen, the LeBron fandom. I'm not saying you're a LeBron fan. I'm saying what's happened to sports fans. That's like saying a Bird played for the Lakers. After all the years we've been cheering against Bird and we cheering for Magic, Worthy, and Kareem, we can't go cheer for Bird. Bird come from the Celtics to the Lakers. Hell no. Cam went from Auburn and Alabama, winning a Heisman Trophy, winning a national title. Salute to the brother for that. Played his ass off. Went to Carolina. They go 15-1 in one of those years. He won the MVP, go to the Super Bowl. Now he lost. I was very happy he lost, by the way. But he lost, okay? And now he ends up playing for my Patriots? No, I can't have it. And then you divorce Tom Brady for that? No, I can't have it. I can't do it. So yeah, I'm still a Patriots fan, but I can't do that.
Did he divorce Tom Brady or did Tom Brady divorce him?
Belichick was tripping, man. That's his fault. I hold him ultimately responsible for that. You can't divorce Tom Brady. You can't do that. Tom Brady is phenomenal. You can't do that. You got to keep Tom Brady happy.
Is Tom Brady phenomenal? Because he looked.
You're damn right, he's phenomenal.
He looked pretty ragged last week.
Look. Can I explain something to you real quick?
No.
Can I explain something to you real quick?
What?
Listen, he got a brand new system. Bruce Arians, he be tripping when he get quarterbacks there. Okay, first and foremost.
Oh, so it's not Brady's fault.
No, it's not Brady's fault. That man got championships.
All those picks he threw, that's not his fault.
How many championships do Bruce Arians has as a head coach?
I asked you about all the picks that he threw last week.
Quarterbacks don't throw picks. Quarterbacks don't throw interceptions. It's going to happen. That's going to happen in life.
Repeatedly?
Yeah, it happens.
Oh,
okay.
It happens. Oh, okay.
You saw today. Look, listen. They were pretty much left for dead in the water against Kansas City and came back and made the game close. That's Tom Brady doing his thizzle. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Listen, if it wasn't for Tom Brady, can I explain something to Saints fans? I refuse to argue with y'all. I'm a Saints fan. Y'all should be kissing the ring. You know why you should kiss the ring? Tom Brady is responsible for 28-3. He's the reason why the Falcons don't have a Super Bowl right now. So the Saints fans, outside him playing, y'all should love Tom Brady.
He still had material on the Falcons even without 28-3, bro.
Well, they'll have a Super Bowl. They have a Super Bowl with us. They'd have one. They'd have one now. And they'll be able to say, we got one and y'all got one. Now what's up? But Tom Brady made sure that didn't happen.
This is Atlanta, though. How many times does Atlanta blow a lead? If it wasn't Tom Brady, it probably would have been somebody else.
Well, hey, look, I can't argue that. Atlanta does what Atlanta does. I get it. Okay. Now, we're playing Atlanta next week. I told y'all, leaving people alone. I don't like to tease Atlanta because I believe that it's cursing us. We are being affected by the loser spirit and losing mentality as a fan base. And we keep nanning and booing them people. And we got a Super Bowl and they don't. And so every time we bring up 28-3, I start to cringe. Because think about it, Nick. Since 28-3, we had a lot of bad luck. We've also had the bad luck. We had the You Big Dummy play by Marcus Williams. And you damn right, his nickname is You Big Dummy. That's what I call him. All right? That's his nickname. Then after that, we get the no-call pass interference from the LA Rams, LA Cheaters, who your brother happens to coach on. He got to be, fraudulent. And make sure you tell him I say he's fraudulent because he's over there coaching with them now.
Don't come for my boy. Don't come for my boy because you is not finna sit up here and Jeff for 10 minutes of a Saints show and then get at my brother. Why you not gonna play with my boy?
My brother coach for the damn Rams, and she want to talk about me and my Patriots right now.
You are sitting here being a fangirl for free. Okay, my brother is getting paid by the Rams. Complete difference.
Oh, listen. He could have stayed with the Chargers.
No, why? If they
loved him,
why?
You know what? He can go by the Cheaters. He go by the Cheaters. Got something to tell you today. Tell him this. Text him this. Text him this. Tell him San Francisco beat their ass today. You make sure you tell him that.
They didn't beat their ass today.
They beat their ass today.
They didn't beat their ass. They just won. There's a difference.
Wait, listen. How do you lose in San Francisco? San Francisco is terrible right now, but they beat the Rams. I enjoy it. I enjoy that. I want him to lose every game that he's involved with. It don't matter if he was there or not. I want the Rams to lose every game that they play. Every game.
You don't have to do that your whole life.
I'm not a hater. I just choose. I'm loyal to those that I love. I love my Saints.
We wouldn't be having this conversation about you not supporting Cam Newton.
No. I am loyal. Cam Newton, he don't get that pass. I am loyal. He don't get that pass.
Anyway, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time.
You know how many championships Tom Brady and Drew Brees got? I got 7 between 2 of them.
All Drew got is 1. You shouldn't even put Drew in that conversation.
No, I'm going to put Drew because with the Saints, we got cheated by the Rams. We have 2. And Tom Brady only have 5.
It was trash, bro. Look, first of all, get off Tom Brady's sack, please.
Don't do that. I recognize greatness. Don't do that. That man is great.
Get off his sack. Secondly, our quarterback is who you need to be repping for this hard. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
I love Drew Brees. I do. That number 9. Listen, it's like having kids. Listen to me now. Listen, I'm explaining it to you. It's like having kids, right? Or having brothers. Let me say it like that. My bros. All right? That's my bros.
My nieces and nephews are there to whoop your ass.
Listen, let me explain. Let me give you an example. That's like having bros, okay? One has, a considerable amount of success on the field. He's got 6. The other one has 1. But when we bring it together as a family, collectively, we got 7. So I count it as 7 championships, okay? Now, Atlanta and, the Rams, the Rams ain't going to get one this year. So I can just flat out say that right now. They won't win one. They lost to the 49ers. I ain't trying to hear it. They ain't got to worry about it this year, right? But Atlanta has 0, and that's our next week's opponent. They put up 45 points this week. They beat the Raiders, who beat Kansas City. That's Kansas City's only loss, okay? I'm on the street where when I pick the Saints, when I pick them to lose, they win. So you know what my pick is for next week, right? I'm picking the Saints to lose. I'm picking them to lose.
Picking them to lose.
Right, correct.
And you know that I can't say anything good about Atlanta. So I'm not finna say Atlanta's gonna win next week's game.
I hope not.
You know who my pick is. But then again, I'm on a roll.
Okay. You are.
Saints to win last week, and guess what? We won. So the Saints will win next week. I'm probably within 4 points.
So you have it as a nail biter.
Yeah, I have them fighting. I think they're gonna fight.
Okay.
They're gonna fight. And again, Julio Jones will be in much more than he was last time. They understand who we are. They have studied every hole that Taysom showed today, because Taysom showed a lot of holes today. So I'm pretty sure they're going to spend the next week studying all of those holes and trying to recreate them next week. So yeah, I see it being pretty close, but I think we're going to win. Big Nuts Lutz going to pull it off for us.
We'll see. I mean, I know, he missed a kick a few weeks ago that I expected him to make. He's going to have to play big next week.
He missed one kick that you expected him to make. What about all the other kicks that you expected him to make? Well,
look, don't bring me there. I got one for you. He missed the kick last year against the Vikings in the playoffs. That if he make it, we win the damn game, man.
This year.
Well, we'll see. We're gonna see. I hope he makes it. I hope he make the kicks. You know what I'm saying? That count.
Make the kicks, because that's Big Nuts Lutz. That's what he does.
He should have been that last year against Minnesota. We'll see. We'll see how he look. What's up with the comments? I know we got comments in the comments. What's up?
Some comments. Chuck, our boy Chuck, says Hill is not ready to be a starting quarterback. There are times in today's game he held the ball while he had open receivers. And I said this, he holds the ball too long. And I'm not really sure why. Because he has a really strong offensive line that's blocking for him. His pocket is cool. I don't know why he's holding the ball as long as he's holding it. I can't even think of like a theoretic reason as to why he holds it.
I know why.
Why?
He's not processing the information fast enough. That's what it is. Drew Brees, that's what makes Drew Brees so phenomenal. Drew Brees processes what the defense is doing. He understands the system. He understands the timing with the receivers. He knows where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. So he's able to release the ball incredibly fast. Taysom Hill, confused, not as confident, don't know where the ball's supposed to be at, when it's supposed to be there. He's waiting for the guy to get open before he released the ball. And so, against the better NFL teams who will be well scouted against what we're going to do, we're going to have some problems. I don't see no way, no shape, no how this guy will be a legitimate starting NFL quarterback. He reminds me of Tim Tebow 2.0. That's what he reminds me. I don't see much of a difference between him and Tim Tebow. Now, we got certain fans that are crazy about him, but y'all tripping.
Yeah, he troubles me. I mean, I think we're going to figure it out by the end of this season, what he is and just how good he could potentially be. I mean, and that's the thing. We see flashes of it, though, right? Because last week wasn't anywhere near as bad as what this week was. And last week, he showed promise. This week, it's a little rocky, and I'm really concerned as to why. And that volatile temperament of it, where you just never really know how it's going to go, is kind of weird for me. I'm not used to it. Just not.
I think the crowd, it was only a few of us there, but the crowd is an advantage there. And, it's a little different. It's a little different when you get one game tape. Most coaches will tell you give me one game tape of a guy and I have an opportunity to break it down. You can really put together a strong game plan to really expose his weaknesses. I thought Denver did a really good job today of understanding what the Saints would want to do with him, and they were one step ahead. For the most part, they just could not stop. And we've gone this far without mentioning this guy's name. They couldn't stop Latavius Murray, man. He had a really, really, really big game today. He rushed for 124 yards on 19 carries, averaged 6.5 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. He absolutely was a monster there. He, for all intents and purposes, outplayed Alvin Kamara today. If you got to be really honest about it, I ain't saying Kamara's weak or nothing, but you know what I mean. I got to give the brother some props.
I mean, the beauty of it is that he shows us and he shows our opponents that he can come through in the clutch. And as much as you guys study Kamara and center your attack on him and try to figure out how to double team, triple team, quadruple team him, we got another weapon on the other side of the field. So I think what he did today was actually show his worth. I was very, very, very impressed with him today. But he does have those sparks of greatness, though. He'll burst out in a game, and once he catches his rhythm, he's on. And he did it today. Today was it. He for sure.
Absolutely did his thing today. That was impressive. It wasn't like Alvin Kamara didn't do nothing. He had 11 carries, 54 yards, 4.9 yards a carry, which is really good, along with 15 yards on today. He is nurturing a few injuries and trying to get himself ready for the stretch run, which is why it's so important to get healthy. Michael Thomas, 4 receptions on 6 targets, 50 yards, 12.5 yards a reception today. You look at Michael Thomas, he still has that ankle taped up. This is the reason why that bye for the Saints will be so important. I think the Saints, they're a veteran team. They've played deep into the playoffs for the last few seasons. That extra week for Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, I think, could be the difference between them making it to the big game and not. If they don't get that bye, they will have to win 3 games to get to the title game, to get to the Super Bowl. They get the bye, you win the divisional round, you're in the NFC title game. You win one more game, you're in the Super Bowl. And I think that's always the easiest way to get there. And traditionally, the NFL used to have it, whereas the 1 seed and the 2nd seed both had to bye. Now, they've thrown it out the window. Only the number 1 seed in the conference will get that bye. And so I'd like to see the Saints secure it. I think it's more important this year than it's ever been before for them so that they can get healthy. You saw another injury today. I don't know if you were able to get word on what the results are or if he came back in the game. I didn't notice him come back in the game, but we lost a corner today. Janarius Jenkins went down. He caught an interception, returned an interception. He sprained what looked like to be his ankle, maybe his knee. And I'm like, damn, against this sad-ass team, we don't need that. We don't even really need that. I wish he would have just fell out and not try to return it. But, it is what it is. So we just got, Lattimore back. So you want to stay healthy. That's a big part of this stretch run. The Saints only have a few games left. You were one person that said you didn't believe the Saints would sweep the division. If they beat Atlanta this upcoming week, Ms. Neek, they just got 1 game left and they'll sweep the division. This is the last game of the year against Carolina.
And I will be stunned.
Okay.
I will be just as stunned as I was with the clinic game we had a couple weeks ago, like against Tom Brady. I love my team. I do. I love my team. And on any given Sunday, you can hear me yelling from the rooftops how we about to bust everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. But as a football fan, just sitting down watching them, I was stunned. I was elated, but I was stunned that went down the way that it went down. So if we sweep the division, just because of the rivalry, you know what I'm saying? If we sweep the division, I will be completely stunned. Chuck says the Super Bowl should be played overseas. They ain't letting us in, Chuck. America, the black child of the world right now. They don't know, nobody want us in there. Where you from? USA. Oh no, go on back. Go on back with your people now. Go back over there.
They're not trying to have that. They're not that. I mean, I don't know where. I don't know where you want to play it, but I doubt it. I doubt that they would allow us to come in. Let me do this real quick. We got a few more minutes before we have to get out of here on today's show. I just want to do a quick recap. I want to go within the division first. Kansas City 27, Bucks 24. Of course, we want the Bucks to lose as many times as they can lose. They keep losing. That's good for the Saints. The Saints continue to expand their lead in the NFC South. San Francisco 49ers 23. LA Rams 20, which is great for the Saints. Beat their ass, give us a 2-game cushion over the Rams and those guys catching us, of course. The Atlanta Falcons 43 to they're no longer in LA. The Las Vegas Raiders 6. That's why the Saints got to be ready. The Saints lost to the Raiders. The Raiders beat KC, and Atlanta put up 43 on them. So let's go to show you how things can flip very quick week to week in the NFL. The Saints need to be ready next week. Minnesota 28, Carolina 27. I believe Minnesota hit a last-second field goal to win that one. Minnesota fighting for a wild card spot. They are pushing. They are left on the Saints schedule. That'll be a very important game. So is Carolina. Carolina without Teddy Bridgewater in that game. Cleveland 27, Jacksonville 25. Competitive game now. Cleveland comes out on top. Tennessee 45, Indianapolis 26. The Giants 19, the Cincinnati Bengals 17. That's without Burrow. Giants now take the lead in the NFC East. Miami 20. New York Jets remain winless 3. New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, Cam Newton 20. Arizona Cardinals 17. Buffalo Bills continue their impressive season 27-17 over the LA Chargers, and taking place right as we speak. They just put 3 points up on the board. Packers lead. Well, actually, the Bears just put up 3 points. Packers lead the Bears 6-3, and we have to be Bears fans if you're a Saints fan in that one, because, again, you want those teams at the top to continue to lose. And there are a few games left that were rescheduled, if I'm not correct. Weren't they, Ms. Neek? Isn't like the Ravens and Steelers, they're going to play Tuesday, right? They play Tuesday.
Yep, they play Tuesday.
And we have Philly and Seattle on Monday night. So Monday and Tuesday, we have NFL football for everybody coming up.
Yeah, man, it's getting real. It's legit getting real. We what week are we in? This is week.
I know we're closing it out. It's amazing to say that we've gone through an NFL season like we're making our way through it through a pandemic. So I appreciate the NFL for trying. I appreciate them for giving us this distraction. I appreciate everybody who is a part of what this is all about. I appreciate people being able to make money. Bottom line, I know those guys appreciate the opportunity to do it. That's how they keep, their families secure and their legacies impact by going out there and earning them as checks. And you don't get that time back. You're not going to get it back. You have to maximize the opportunities to make the type of money these professional athletes are making. And they're making it. And so it's coming to an end.
Yeah, they're doing their best to make sure that we at least get the games in and try to make the season work. We've rescheduled 15 different games, with the latest being the Ravens and the Steelers. So it got moved from Thanksgiving Day, and we'll play like you said on Tuesday the 1st. And that's due to the Ravens having their own challenges with the COVID-19 that is running rampant. Now the Cowboys versus the Ravens are scheduled to play on the 1st. So because it got moved, that will be moved to the 7th. So we'll be playing the game on December 7th.
Former New Orleans Saints receiver Willie Snead. We actually drafted Willie Snead. Played a few years here for us. He's now positive with COVID, on that COVID list. So he'll be missing the game on Tuesday. So again, week to week in the NFL, as we're finding out, anything is possible. If you can manage your team, if those guys can commit to being responsible with how they move around and take care of themselves, your team will have an opportunity to play for big things. Ms. Neek, 5 games left. I know we got to get out of here. We got about 3 to 5 more minutes left. Before I do this, who are you giving your beignets to? Let's go there first.
Well, we've already talked about him. He posted his very first 100+ game in 2020. my dog showing up, Latavius Murray. You know what I'm saying? He doubled his season touchdown average for the year. Like he really was getting it in, running hard, breaking tackles, slipping past first defenders. Like he really was cutting up today. So I give my beignets to Latavius Murray, even though our defense bust they every week and they deserve it. I got to give it to Murray this week. He did his thing.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I agree with that. I kind of want to overload him, but we want to shut a love. We want to shut a love, and so I'm going to move over to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to give a guy some love who, bottom line, is having a phenomenal season. He's the leader of the defense. Demario Davis, 9 tackles, 7 total solo tackles a day, all over the field. You kept seeing him lay down that powwow. Him and Kawan Alexander make a phenomenal, linebacking tandem. Those guys are really, really good. I said it on last week's show. We haven't had this, since Vilma, Scott Shanley, and Scott Fajita. Like, we haven't had this type of linebacking play in a long time. We've got it, and those guys are playing really, really well together. So I'm going to give that on my beignets to Demario Davis.
We got to hook Kawan Alexander up too, though.
Yeah, we do. I think, you know what? I think we need a big game from him. And I think, I'm going to tell you when I think he's going to put a big game down for us. I think next week is a Kawan Alexander week. I think he'll jump out a lot next week and he'll make some plays. I still got to stay with my streak. I can't pick my Saints, but where my heart is at. And hopefully we'll come out on top, but it will be challenging, Ms. Neek. The Falcons don't want to get swept. Roddy White, I wonder if he'll come out of hiding. I've been trying to find out
the game
if he was going to say something, and he ain't really said nothing, other than, I'm going to tell you what he said. After November 22nd, the last time we heard from him was Thanksgiving Day when he said, "Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope your time with the people you love is amazing." From anybody else, okay. And I'm not saying what the brother's saying ain't right, but he's a cornball. Like, even this picture, look at this picture on Twitter. He looked like, the count. He looked like he looked funny. Something about it just looks dorky. It looks, it's corny. Like, grown ass man standing in the sky with Atlanta Falcon colors on, and you ain't win a Super Bowl. I mean, I get it. They gave you your check. I get it. It's just something about this guy that just really, he just reeks of, and I got to say it this way, Mitch assness. You know what I really want to say. You know what I'm saying? But he just, to me, I can't. Somebody, brother, I just don't get with.
Listen, everybody can't be great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be great. I never liked him ever. He always had something to say. It was never that good to be talking as much as he talked. So, you just kind of let him. I love when it comes back to bite him in the ass, though. I love it. Last week was just epic for me. Like, and all you had to do was just screenshot it and send it back to him. Like, this you talking? This you? This what you had to say? Oh, okay. But yeah, I think next week is gonna be interesting. I mean, but it's always interesting every time we meet up with Atlanta. It's always fun. We enjoy getting at them. So we'll see what they do next week. I told y'all we're gonna win by at least 4.
Okay. Parting shots. I won't go deep, but y'all need to leave that man alone. Leave Nate Robinson alone. I know it's gonna last about 48 hours. Leave that man alone. This is not a good look right now for y'all. I was with it, but then I read a tweet from a few successful brothers out there that kind of said, "Hey, look, all right, we're going in a little too hard now. All right. That man ain't did nothing to us like that. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, all the Apollo Creed memes.
Did you see Did you see the fight last night?
I mean, I saw the replay now. I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Baby boy look like he ain't trained now one day in his life. He just
it look bad. It does.
He look like I got it. Do you remember I can't remember the name of the movie. Great White Hope.
Yes.
Yes, he reminded me of Great White Hope. And it seemed like the second time he got knocked to the mat, he looked up like, He trying to embarrass me on TV. Like, yeah, that boy about to lay you out.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad. I mean, the whole. Okay, if we're gonna be honest, right? This is no filter, right? The whole night was bad. It was just entertaining. They got to Snoop. Even though, and y'all are in the internet world, y'all are running out with this make Snoop a commentator thing. Snoop was the worst commentator you ever wanted to listen to in real life. Like, just because this whole night just turned out to be like a real joke, it was a comedy special, it was cool. But I don't want to hear Snoop talking the way Snoop was talking last night throughout the game or throughout a fight. Oh, get off him. Get out of there. Get out of there, Nate. Oh, get off him. These look like two of my uncles fighting in the backyard. Like, come on, y'all know y'all don't want his.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I appreciate the big homie. And I ain't mad. I know he got paid for it. So, I feel you.
He got paid.
Yeah, but
I haven't, and maybe you can confirm this because I haven't looked it up. But did they get 10 mil a piece for that fight?
I think that's a number I saw floating around. And that's pretty strong. That's a pretty good payday. It's a 48-hour rule, so tomorrow, we can't be with all of that lift each other up talk and the imagery of that. I understand it's sports. I get it. But it's the same reason why I left LeBron alone this year, y'all. We got to be a little careful now. Now, this ain't, it's 2020 and got things going on that we're working on now, so we gotta watch it. That's all I'm saying. We were teetering on that line of, be careful, black folk. I'm gonna say it. If ain't nobody else gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Be careful, because I get it. But when you tell the joke out loud and everybody can hear it, you can't get mad if you hear a joke you don't necessarily like. So, all right, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
He had to know he was gonna get it.
I feel that.
He should have just took a knee. He knew it was coming. He got knocked down like right before. Like, just take a knee.
That man was trying to stand up, be a champion. He was being a champ.
That boy was trying to wrestle.
He was showing resiliency, like our Saints. When we got pass interfered with 2 years ago, we came right back. Or when the man put the interference on us last in the end zone, we came right back. We 9-2. COVID, Katrina, don't even matter. We bounced right back. So I feel that. I'm about that. So, Nate, from me to you, dog.
That, though. You can't get up and get knocked back down.
That happens in life. Live to fight. What did he say? Live to fight another day.
But you live. You live to fight another day.
That's it. Yes. Shout out to the late, great Clarence Witherspoon.
Clarence?
Yeah, Clarence Witherspoon.
His name is John Witherspoon.
You sure?
Yeah, are you sure?
I knew what I was doing. I was making fun of it because the basketball player is Clarence Witherspoon.
No, that's not what you was doing.
I was.
It's all great. So, we gave out our beignets.
Yes.
Okay. You call for next week. You say Atlanta's going to win next week.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
I got to. Until the streak is broken.
Okay. I say Atlanta's going to lose next week. Y'all can thank me. Y'all can thank me later. All right. So, what is going to happen is y'all are going to go up and you're going to click the subscribe button. Then you're going to go up and you're going to click the like button. Then, because you like us so much, you're going to click the share button and shoot this out to your friends so they know what's popping. So you in the know for next week. And then you'll come back and join us on the 5th quarter. I'm your girl, Miss Neat. That's your boy, J.R. Leeds. And we will see y'all next week.
We love y'all. We out. And I messed up Rick Fox's name last week. So I knew what I was doing.
The greats, right? You can't tell. You are almost prohibited from talking about any black icons for the rest of the year.
What's the comedian that did the Martin show? Is it Marshall Lawrence? Marshall Lawrence?
Hang up. Just hang up.